Yeah, get it on. Got to get on a church. Get it on. And skinny Jodi Miller
So
back
thin,
in studio.
yes.
So thin, so refreshing. Everyone loves her. Joe Praino in studio as well. Stand-up special, Decades in the Makings, available on YouTube.
Yes.
I was there.
He was.
When she filmed it, and I can tell you it was great even without editing. And now that it's down to 9 minutes.
It is the tight 9.
I saw hour and 41
I know,
of the
but
longest.
the 9 that's out there is just so relatable.
Relatable. So it was great when I saw it live, and I'm sure it's going to be better when you guys see it on YouTube.
Yes.
So how about that?
With all the commercials in between. It's going to be so much better.
So I had a weekend of seeing Paula Abdul and DJ Jazzy Jeff and New Kids on the Block.
Wow, you really went down that. I thought it was just the New Kids. You went down that.
I went way
80s,
down that
80s,
90s.
80s, 90s rabbit hole.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Were they all together on the
They
same
were
show?
all together.
Where?
They were at a venue on like Palm Desert, Palm Springs, whatever that area, like a new hockey venue,
Right.
Probably played about, it really held about 8,000 or 9,000 people. It was
At
Oh
Frasier
my God.
Arena.
Yeah, it was filled pretty much to capacity. Exciting stuff.
Who was the best out of all 3?
Well, okay.
DJ.
Paula Abdul is not a musician and not an artist and not a singer and she's not anything. She's in like a really...
She's a dancer.
Yeah, she's a choreographer.
Yes.
And also it's a weird position, and I have to explain this to people all the time, like who wants to do stuff and who doesn't want to do stuff
Right.
and who isn't this and who isn't that, because people don't have a clear understanding of it, which is Joe Biden has been asked 72,000 times whether he'd get a cognition test and a CAT scan and a PET scan and have something figured out to see if he wasn't Parkinsonian or an early
Right.
onset dementia or middle onset dementia. Like, his answer has been 75,000 answers other than fine, bring on the test.
Right.
You know what I
Okay.
mean? So he doesn't want to get the test. Is what it's when you get pulled over and you're asked to take a breathalyzer, you can say, I haven't been drinking, I just came from church, I'm a Jehovah's Witness,
Right.
whatever it is you want to say. But if you won't take the breathalyzer, you know something.
Right.
And by the way, is there a scenario where you absolutely have not touched a drop of alcohol in the last 48 hours and you refuse a breathalyzer?
I don't think
and
so.
And the answer is no.
No.
So something is up. Paula Abdul does not like singing on stage.
Yes.
She made her last album in 1995, and she doesn't sing when she's on stage. So she does not like doing this. Like I've said this
Right.
many times. Like, where is Jerry Seinfeld and Jay Leno going to be this weekend? Somewhere
Yes.
with a microphone
Yes.
on stage doing stand-up. Is it because of all the drugs and the divorces and the rehabs or the sexual reassignment surgeries they have to pay for? Or do they have more combined FU money than any other stand-up alive? The answer is Seinfeld's got more money in the fucking bank than anybody.
Okay.
And the second most money is Leno, who still never hammered a Tonight Show check. It's still all just sitting in the bank. Okay. Why are they performing this weekend?
They love stand-up.
They love stand-up. Okay. Paul Reiser, the second he got a sitcom, stopped doing stand-up. And Drew Carey stopped doing stand-up. Why?
Because they stopped loving it.
They don't like
They don't
stand-up.
like it.
They never did like stand-up. They did it to get a
Yes,
sitcom,
yes.
and then they got
Right.
to host The Price is Right, and now they no longer need to do stand-up, so they don't do it. So real musicians can be found on any given night in any given honky-tonk with 30 people in the crowd holding an acoustic guitar playing a set because that's what they do. And Paula Abdul can be dragged out of retirement and pushed on stage and told to lip sync so she can get paid.
Is that what you did?
Yes, she doesn't want to do it. Is what I'm saying. She would prefer not to do it.
So not your favorite of the night.
Well, I watched it like, I think it'd be like chimps watching women fight in a Costco. You know, I just sort of looking at it, trying to figure out what it was, why
Has that
it was
happened a lot?
attractive to people. Hypothetically.
Okay.
If you showed chimps,
I didn't know if there was something that went
heavy-set
down.
women fighting at a Costco.
I didn't know if that went down this weekend because it was
think they would. No, it had to go down. But I feel like they would just watch it in wonderment. You know what I mean?
fair.
Trying to glean things from our society versus their society. So Paula Abdul, I've never really. And by the way, this isn't really a slight because I think she's a talented choreographer and other things. But I've never thought of her as a musician.
No.
Or a singer or anything. I don't think of anything, anything musical. Now, to be fair, I don't think of Janet Jackson that way either.
Oh, okay.
I was talking to someone who went to Paula Abdul who lip-sunk the whole thing. And she said, I saw Janet Jackson, 2 months earlier here. And I was like, how was that? And she was like, oh, she lip-syncs. It's like, all right. We're now at a point with concerts. Mm-hmm. There are no instruments on stage or anywhere near stage, and the person is not singing. I don't know what we're left with at this point. Like, could you imagine going back in time and going, hey, Mr. Sinatra, we're going to have you do a live show. We're just going to back out 2 elements. Just 2 elements. What's that? No musicians on stage whatsoever, and your mic's not going to be plugged in. Other than that. You just do your act.
Just do your thing.
Just do your thing. And then if you told people buying a ticket, what are we buying a ticket to? No musicians, no instruments, no singing. Other than that, it's a Paula Abdul concert.
But she's a dancer. So
she's a dancer.
How was the dancing?
It was fine.
Was DJ Jazzy Jeff behind her playing?
DJ Jazzy Jeff.
Because I haven't heard that.
The question was, who was the best?
Here's the comedy. All right, here's the comedy. The comedy, she did something interesting, Paula Abdul, which I find interesting at least, and I couldn't make heads or tails of. She goes, oh, thanks for coming out, whatever, this and that. And she goes, for the next half hour, I'm going to walk you through whatever. And I thought, half hour? She's had 6 #1 Billboard charts. She sold 80 million records. Weird. Half hour is a weird, short period of time. And when I initially heard that New Kids on the Block and Paula Abdul were on a bill together, I thought, well, New Kids are going to open for Paula Abdul.
Oh, you did?
Well, Paula Abdul has had more #1 hit. I would say she's had
not
more.
the New Kids.
Well, now we got to look.
I think New Kids by far had a longer.
Oh yeah, her career was short
too.
Yeah.
They're hits too. So she had 6 hits, 3 minutes apiece. It's 18 minutes. She's still got 12 minutes to play around.
Well, what I'm saying is a lot of people do an hour-long concert with 2 hits.
That's true. That's fair. Having said that, Paula, I'm going to give you some props because I've been sucked into, I don't know how, on TikTok and Reels. She's been doing these dance videos, and she's still got it. I mean,
62 years young.
She is slamming. She's doing these.
I agree. The question is, why did she say for a half hour?
I don't know. That is a strange. She could have just been like, so what we're going to do is we're going to go down memory lane or blah, blah, blah. She said for a half hour.
Yeah, which is a weird. So we do stand up and we never say the time.
No.
You know what I mean? And nobody says the time.
No, we'll say, all right, I'm going to get out of here soon or whatever. Got a few minutes left. We never say the time.
Yeah, here's how long
also,
I'm
we never lip sync, but wouldn't that be great, Adam, if your next show, they could be like, Adam, we're just going to play
Dane Cook's words coming out of my mouth, his poetry leaving my mouth. Oh, my God, from your mouth to God's ears, even if you're not moving.
Have we ever seen
Paula
stand-up?
Abdul had more hits.
What?
Yeah.
Adam was right about something?
Wow, are you serious? How's that possible?
Well, yeah, because Paula Abdul had fucking huge #1 hits.
So did New Kids on the Block.
I know, but not as many.
And how did
6 #1s. New Kids on the Block had 3 #1s.
But how many, top 20? Because
New Kids on the Block had 9 top 10 hits. Paula Abdul had. Stand by. It's right there.
8. So it's.
Your argument for me being insane about asking if who's opening for who was just shot down. Well, I think
the reason why is because Paula Abdul is a big star, but I feel like she's a bigger star because of American Idol and all the stuff she did after, not because of her singing. New Kids on the Block kind of live in infamy because they were one of the original boy bands.
Listen, I'm not going to argue. I am going to say my being inquisitive about who's opening for who is a fair question. Since it's a kind of coin toss career. There's arguments that can be made for both. But anyway, I didn't know she was going to do 29 minutes and they were going to do an hour and a half. I would assume, and I also assume, by the way, because they do this all the time, they go, Quiet Riot and Scorpions and, the Whitesnake are all going out. And I've interviewed these guys a million times. And I go, well, how's it work? Because a little egos about who's opening and who's not opening.
Right.
And they just go, we alternate.
That's fair. I could see that.
All right, you alternate. So I then assume maybe they would alternate, but I didn't know that Paula Abdul just does a very short, tight, choreographed.
How much time did
thing.
DJ Jazzy Jeff do?
I made sure we got there in time to see what this guy was up to, because I am so whatever. DJs in what if you said, look, we need to really distill what annoys Adam the most about society. But you only got one thing. You can only, it has to fit on a 3x5 card. Like, it can't. Mm-hmm. And you'd go, well, he hates those left turn arrows. And you'd go, yeah, but that's just not going to if you just want to encapsulate into one thing, but you could only use one example of what bothers me the most about our society, it would be DJs. It would be DJs. And
that's fair.
So I wanted to know what he's doing. So when I walked in, he was playing Don't Stop Believing by Journey, which is like, oh my God, is there a corner of this planet I can hide to get away from that fucking mediocre piece of shit song?
But why was he playing that song?
Well, then he goes into...
Because the people there are there to see Paula Abdul and New Kids on the Block.
Right.
But I feel like I know it's the same time era, but it feels like it's a different genre. You know what I mean?
He's playing that song. The audience is jumping up and down, as if they can't hear that song for free on the way home in their fucking car. And he's playing it, and they're going nuts. And then he segues right into Bon Jovi, shot through the heart, and they're like, oh yeah. And then you talk to people, and I go, how was DJ? Oh man, he played all the hits. It's like, he didn't play any. He doesn't have hits. He played other people's
hits.
He played the best 40 seconds from everyone else's songs. Right. Why is this a thing?
I don't know.
And as I've
got everybody in the mood for some late 80s.
You know what? Though you could have just put your phone Spotify list on and done the same thing.
Okay.
It would have cost slightly less than DJ Jazzy
That's
Jeff.
true, slightly.
Okay. So then, Paula does her thing.
29 minutes.
Which is lots of choreography, lots of movement. She wants to dance.
Yes.
She likes to dance. She doesn't want to sing. She doesn't like singing, and maybe she can't sing, but she wants to dance. And I was talking to Mike August, who used to handle her. Not
manhandle her, throw her to the ground.
He was legit. She became too much, but she was legit.
For Mike.
Yeah, Mike takes a lot with Mike. But she was on a flight one day. I've told the story. She was just sitting in first class, and she was on her phone 20 years ago. And I walked onto the flight. I don't know Paula Abdul, but she saw me, and I kind of saw her, and she went, hey, come here, hold on a sec. And then she handed me her phone, and it was Mike August. So that was verification that Mike and her knew, and she knew I knew Mike somehow or whatever. Mike's like, she's a choreographer. She doesn't like singing. She doesn't want to sing. And I was like, I understand that. But it's like, I love vintage Datsun race cars, but I don't make the first half hour of my act talking about driving a Nissan Roadster. You know what I mean? These are things I like. I get it. But I can't make it the whole thing.
I get it.
At some point, I got to tell jokes that maybe you like, But I get it. It's choreography, and it's fine. It's clear. I would say that for the audience, they would probably prefer the singing versus the choreography, but she prefers the choreography versus the singing, so we just watch it. It's easy enough to watch. People are moving around and doing things. So
they didn't play her hits at all?
She played her hits, or whoever pushes the hits button played.
She danced to her hits.
Hits, okay.
It's an interesting thing that I realize. It's a weird lip sync ploy, which is she's got the Burger King drive-through headset on the whole time. And then about 15 minutes in, she gets handed the handheld mic.
Right. Mm-hmm.
And now it's like, oh, why'd we make the switch? And the switch is, oh, I'm using this mic now. But you can hear the difference between,
Of course.
But I think now people are just sort of, that's what we do. People have accepted there is no band. There is not even there's a backing track, but we're here to watch this thing.
Right. Again, comics are the next people to be lip syncing. That would be such a great
Listen,
easy
I
day.
could get out there with my tennis racket and play Eruption by Van Halen, and you guys could all enjoy my moves too.
I'd
that
love
would
it.
be cool, right?
Let's do it.
So DJ Jazzy's playing whoever had hits other than him that the audience is enjoying because they're doing what dumb people do, which is they go, "Oh, I like that song,"
Right,
and I'm
yeah.
like, and I yell at people all day where they just go, I like P. Diddy doing his whatever. And I go, he's playing Kashmir. He's playing Led Zeppelin.
Right.
You like Led Zeppelin's Kashmir. That's what he's playing. That's why I like it. All right, dumb people. It's fine. Then comes, now it's New Kids on the Block.
Tell us about them.
The headliner.
The headliner come out. And there's no band on stage. It's a back thing, but they're singing.
They are really singing.
They did
sing.
They can sing.
They can sing.
Yeah. Sorry. Where's my list of everyone in the band? Do I have it here after you promised to give it to me?
I promised to give it to you?
Didn't I say I go?
No, you absolutely did not say that to me. I wish you did, though. I would have provided that for you.
Right before the show started, you were in here, Adam was out the door, and Adam yelled, Joe, and you said, yeah. You got the names of the New Kids on the Block for me? And you said, yeah.
Oh.
Well, you were outside. Actually, yes, but you said yes. I asked the names of everyone, and
I'm
you
sorry,
said yes.
buddy, but that did happen.
That did happen.
Why is Mark
I
Wahlberg
have no
wasn't
recollection
in there?
of that whatsoever.
Mark Wahlberg wasn't
He
in.
was original.
Original?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. It's just
No,
for like,
what you
for a
thought
year.
is. You thought it was New Kids on the Block on my list.
Correct.
And I said the names of New Kids because I know I'm going to have to call out everyone's name, and I don't know. I can't remember everyone's name in the band. And you just said yes because you thought I was talking about this on the block. But thank you, Dawson. I appreciate
You're welcome.
that.
Sorry, Joe.
Sorry,
No.
Joe. All right. So
Whenever I used to listen to this show, I used to be like, these guys just keep fucking up. And now that I'm here, I'm like, you know what?
it's easy enough to do.
Yeah.
I would say it happens to the best of them, but I haven't experienced the best. All right, so I'm out there. We're sitting about fourth row, fifth row, but sort of off to the right pretty good, stage right. And the place got about 8,000 or 9,000 people in it.
Okay.
And I'm just going, fuck it, I'm having a good time.
Yeah.
I'm here to enjoy myself. I got a complimentary glass of white wine.
Whoa.
Yeah. So I'm enjoying my Chardonnay, and I'm just up on my feet, and it's they're spread out over the width of the stage because there's five guys out there, and so
And they're all in their 50s, so they have to spread out in
gotta
case one of
spread
them
out.
falls down. They have enough room to jump
I'm
over
telling
them.
you, they are fit, they
They
are
are fit.
energetic, they are the whole thing, and about halfway in, Joey McIntyre. I see him kind of looking at me, but when you're in an audience of
Yeah.
9,000 people, what's he looking at, And then at some point he gives me like a, hey, what's up or whatever. And I'm like, I think I got the what's up from Joey McIntyre. and then as fate would have it, like 8 minutes later was the part of the act where they come down into the audience and go take the stage in the center of the venue and play it to the what they would call back in the day the Negro balcony. But I don't think they build that into the new stadiums,
No.
But it's an old thing.
Just call it something else.
Yeah, something else.
Something else.
Yeah, Negro something.
I think just a balcony now is
Something
fine.
Negro something.
Just-
but-
yeah,
it's
something.
Negro something. Yeah.
Negro
Balcony
mezzanine.
is so,
Negro mezzanine,
balcony's so offensive.
Negro loge.
Yeah. Every old 20s theater I played a lot of them, has the Negro balcony way up
Right, but you can't say the
in,
B
in
word.
the back. Right. So as he's coming down my aisle, So we're going to kind of find out whether that was just looking out into the crowd, like there's a hot chick in front of me he was making eyes with, or we had a moment there. And I think there's a videotape of it.
Oh my God.
Which
I'm so excited.
We shall play it. He's making his way down the run. Finds me. So he did, in fact, recognize me and came to say hi.
Oh, that was sweet.
Via his headset, he said to one of the lackeys, he said, I need a list of names of all the hosts of the Man Show.
That's right.
Because I see one of them and I need to know which one it is.
So then, evidently, this is about the most. So then he goes on stage, I think, and conveys this to the rest of the band.
Lets them know.
Yeah, we got the ace man in the crowd. So then the roadie at some point sort of sneaks by and hands the passes and does the whatevers, and then we said, "Oh, all right, so we'll go backstage, after the show."
Yeah.
They put on about it was like an hour and a half, lots of energy, good. I was having a time of my life.
I'm jealous. I would have loved to have gone.
Yeah.
They're great.
Yeah, it was great.
The moral of the story is if you get backstage passes, great show. And if not, Paula Abdul lip syncing, just dancing trash.
I think what we're not saying is it sounds like somebody went backstage and got lucky. And that's what it sounds like.
That's
sounds
what
like
happened.
Yeah.
Me and Wahlberg. No, I think Donnie.
Is Donnie there?
Oh yeah.
All right, just making sure.
Well, Donnie Wahlberg's singing in the band.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah.
Just wanted to make sure. Every once in a while, somebody's. Oh, there it is.
Yeah.
You guys.
Yeah, it was great. Yeah, we had a great time, and they're fun, and it was nice. And they were just. I think they just.
Look at all the hair, though. That's impressive. Everybody's except for Donnie's got the hat on, so I don't think he's got a lot of hair going on. But that's all right. Fair.
I felt like they just assumed I just made the pilgrimage out to Palm Springs to check them out, and that's my story, and I'm sticking with it. You know what I mean?
Okay. Well, what
Sounds like you did.
Yeah. Where else were you doing in Palm Springs on the hottest
I don't
weekend?
think I would have initiated. My girlfriend didn't want to see Paula Abdul and New Kids on. I would have been content to stay in Malibu where it was 51 degrees cooler.
Yes.
Than the 117.
Yes. How hot was it in there?
It was beautiful in there, but they had an outdoor pavilion where I got my free Chardonnay where it was bubbling out there. And I also engaged...
The warm Chardonnay.
I engaged in the hottest activity and behavior ever, really, probably psychologically, physically, emotionally, spiritually. Mm-hmm. And you guys tell me if this makes any sense to you at all. I'm staying at the Ritz-Carlton. By the way... This whole I'm bringing my dog everywhere thing, it's completely off the fucking charts now. The airports are ruined. The fucking Ritz-Carlton. This is a guy with a full-size poodle walking around. Balls. He's got his nutsack swinging left
I've been
and right.
Against it
I'm
since
like
the
walking
beginning.
behind. Then the poodle's like running free in the lobby. It's the size of like a small horse. And then yesterday, I just go to the bar at a certain point. I'm like, I'm just getting a beer and I'm just going to sit at this bar. And this bitch brings her fucking dog in, who's like, dog years, 85, has a weird rasp. Like if Joe Biden was a dog that never, it's like a weird raspy yelp, and just sat at the bar, just, she puts the blanket down, I'm just sitting there, just listening to her dog just fucking chirp the entire fucking, we're at a Ritz-Carlton. I have a dog. I like my dog.
I know, yeah.
But I don't travel with my dog because I'm not an insane narcissist. And I don't bring my dog where people are eating and drinking and stuff.
No.
And especially the dog that never shuts up. It just, it's like she's sitting at the bar with a couple of gay dudes. The dog's just chirping away the entire time. And nobody goes...
The dog's homophobic.
Could you fucking pick the dog up and just move it on out?
The dog is homophobic.
She was a fruit fly. I don't know.
Listen, I've been saying this since the beginning. Unless your dog shits insulin, it's not a service dog. You cannot bring it everywhere. You can't. You've got to leave your dog at home.
I was at the hotel 24 hours and there were 3 different dogs I saw just walking, chained up out front. Like, remember the supermarket when we were kids? Dog hooked up out front. No, they're right. They're all in. Guy's carrying his dog. You got the poodle, you got the yelping dog, the horse dog with the yelp, and it's like, okay. So
The
hottest, it was.
God, it's so hot. I can't imagine what it was.
It was 117 in Palm Springs.
Jesus.
And outside.
Can you go outside at that point?
You can be in the shade by the pool drinking something cold and then getting in and out of the pool. You cannot walk to the pool barefoot.
Okay,
it
definitely
will burn
not.
your feet and that sort of thing. But you can hang by the pool and drink something with ice in it. Outside of the hotel, in the back of the hotel, by the they have the adult pool and the kids' family pool or whatever, set up on the slab about 80 feet away from the back door of the bar the chirping dog was, is a woman who works at the hotel who has a telescope set up, freestand, tripod, telescope, healthy, but not much longer than about 2 or 3 feet, just sort of set up there, and a folding chair in the middle of a slab of concrete, in the middle of the back, 117 degrees outside, sun overhead. She's holding an umbrella that has like gray reflective material on it, like an umbrella that would ward off heat. But she's got an umbrella out there. There's a folding chair. It's 117 degrees. And when I walked past her, I just stopped and I said, "What could we be looking at out here?" And she said, "The sun."
What?
And I said, "Wow, I just got 5 degrees hotter thinking about staring at the sun through a telescope, and it's 117 degrees outside." And she's not under a pergola or a shade or an awning. She's in the middle of an open area holding an umbrella over herself, but the umbrella is also for me. It's for me if I want to look at the sun.
Oh, so she was letting people look at the sun?
She worked for the hotel.
Oh, wow.
Oh, she did? Oh my God. So she worked for the hotel.
I said it.
I thought she was just a random person.
Yeah, I thought she had her
Yes.
service
I
telescope.
said she worked for the hotel.
I missed that part.
Dawson, back me up. Thank you. Yes, she worked for the hotel, and that was her job.
Oh, my God.
And I said, "You can look at the sun through a telescope when it's 3 p.m? Like, wouldn't that burn your eyes out?" And she goes, "No, it's a special telescope, and you can see the sun." And I said, "Well, let's do it."
Yeah, I was going to say you have to.
And I thought for sure you were going to go, I'm good.
No. You have to see it.
I have to see it.
You have to see it.
And I sat down in this 117 degree heat, and she held the umbrella over my head. And I looked at it, and it looks like a red, fiery orb. And then she pointed out, if you sort of look down, you can see solar flares coming off the sun. And you're sitting in 117 degree weather, and now you're staring at the sun. And I was like, I've never been hotter in my life. And then I thought, okay, and thanks. She did see the solar flares, and I did the yes, I did, except for no, I didn't. But that's how I talk to everybody.
Did you have to tip her?
I brought out some coins, but they burned my hands when I touched them. They were so hot. So no, I had to throw them back into my pocket quickly to cool them off. So I don't know. I'm not sure I didn't have any cash on me, but I walked away. And and then I watched her stand out there alone for the rest of the day, because no human being would walk past her, because everyone was in the pool. It was 117. You had to be in the pool, inside, listening to the dog chirp by the bar, or laying on a lounge with an umbrella over you, drinking something cold. Those were your only chances. So she stood out there in the heat.
Yeah.
And then I thought to myself, what would be the harm if the hotel did not provide this service?
I was just going to say.
Would there be complaints?
No.
Dear sirs, I normally have a great experience.
How did she get that job? I mean, I've been in the service industry a long time, and they put you in different positions. At what point were they like, you are in charge of the solar telescope when it's 100 degrees and hotter. That's your job.
And I always think of jobs where they create it. It's an expense. You have to buy the telescope and you have to pay her an hourly wage. And there could be no human being that would ever miss it. They just literally would never.
Right.
Like, okay, I'll pass on the turn down service because I think that's a bizarre,
weird,
anachronistic part of our past or something. I will admit 5% of the people may go, where the fuck is the turn down service? Maybe 5.
Really?
I said maybe 5. That you need to be really?
I'm thinking that much.
It's the people who miss the Negro balcony.
I am willing to concede that maybe 5% would want it or miss it or say something about it.
Okay.
Maybe it's for the chocolates alone.
Maybe. Well, yeah.
Maybe. But 0.000 are going to go, where's the flaming telescope from the hubs of hell? Like, no, is there anyone who would say, who's going to know? And you're providing something that in a world where all you're looking for to do is to cool down, this actually heats you up.
Yeah.
Like psychologically. You sit on a folding chair and you literally stare at the sun.
Was it cool, though?
It was interesting that there is such a telescope that doesn't amplify what you would see if you look in the sky, but you see another version of it, which is a red orb with little splashes of fire coming off it. But I had to be the only person that took her up on that. She had to stand out there. Oh, wait. I think I have an answer.
Okay.
Okay, now I have an answer. I know what this is. No one's asked for it. No one needs it. It's an extra added expense. Okay?
Okay.
And it's completely 100% unnecessary. So, in Hogan's Heroes, whenever Clink would get into trouble, the commandant, General Burkhalter would come in and he would threaten to send him to the Russian front. So the reason the Nazis, the Germans, needed the Russian front is to threaten bad employees. You'll go to the Russian front if you don't. I think that's what telescope detail is. Like, you're fucking up in the kitchen or behind the bar. Your fucking manager, you want to go out and man the telescope? No, boss. No, we're good. Yeah, clean it up now, bro. Or you're going to man the telescope. This chick got caught smoking pot in the parking lot, or she fucking ended up.
How old was this girl?
She was 25 or 30. Wow. She fucked up in the kitchen or at the spa, and they sent her out to man the telescope. And the boss is smart. He just keeps that telescope out there and go, anyone else going to fuck up this week? Who's going to man the telescope?
Now, every other
someone calls in sick like 2 days in a row with not proper notice. You're on telescope patrol.
You're on telescope.
Hey, Copernicus, hit the fucking lot.
It's like, I'm working the pool today. I'm working the bar. I'm working the telescope.
Oh, you fucked it, man.
Telescope again.
You fucked up Barry again, man.
Hope you make it.
That's why it's out there. It's the Russian front for Ritz-Carlton fuck-up employees.
Every other Palm Springs
hotel. She clearly is not an astronomer.
Right.
She has no expertise in this.
No.
Go ahead.
Every other Palm Springs hotel, though, has a DJ by the pool. Your least favorite thing in the entire world. So if you had to choose between sun telescope or DJ.
The DJ was playing, there was music by the pool, but it was quiet. It was, shit music, because they have to play shitty music now because all new music is shit and they just keep playing new shit music. But I am totally obsessed with the DJ. The reason, so if people want to know about me and my wiring, I am not. Look, I'm all over the place. Let's hear Paula Abdul. Let's do "Cold Hearted Snake" by Paula Abdul. With any song where someone goes, "Uh-oh," that I want to hear, which annoyed the shit out of me when I was driving home too. He said, "No, I only pick on Prince because everyone treats him like a deity, and no one gives him enough shit for all his shitty songs that are soulless." This one sounds like a kid's nursery rhyme.
It does. But I'm gonna have to disagree and say that I will definitely move to it.
Just listen to it. Now, like, listen to the musicality of it.
Soundtrack to every 80s rom-com.
Right.
Walking into the office.
What is this? Is what I'm saying. I don't. It doesn't fall under the heading of music.
No.
I get delirious.
Well, the song's called
Also,
Delirious.
there were good songs from the 80s, Sirius XM 80s station. You don't have to play the shitty, quintessential cartoon joke 80s songs. Pretenders had 5 albums in the 80s. We could hear songs from them if we needed to. Listen to this. I like driving my car going, what are we doing? Why are we listening to this? Who wants this? And don't tell me it doesn't sound like complete dated shit. It's dated shit. Yes, your genius, Prince, made really dated sounding shit. The Beatles, they don't make dated sounding shit. Prince makes dated sounding shit. And people think they like it. That's the scary part. It sounds like a kid's.
Yeah.
It sounds like the opening to a Nickelodeon kid's.
Oh,
Dawson's
totally.
just gonna let it run until your head literally explodes.
All right. Oh, okay.
So
got
looking
cold
into that-
that beat. Whoever created this sound ruined music for a fucking decade. Just Janet Jackson, all her stuff. It's all the same. It's shit.
Who was it? I feel like it was that. Well, who was that artist? I'm going to say Axel Foley, but it wasn't obviously. But who was that guy who just was using the synthesizer in the 80s?
Herbie Hancock?
Yes, thank you.
See?
I feel like wasn't that the start of it?
Yeah, Herbie Hancock had jazz roots
Yes, but
and some semblance of soul. You know, the Janet Jackson and Paula Abdul have nothing to do with music. They have nothing. They're not into it. I don't think they like it.
I feel like Janet did though. Janet was a singer.
She could sing.
She can sing, and I feel like she got to a point though.
If you ever sat down with Janet Jackson or Paula Abdul and started talking to them about music,
Right.
you'd be like, what do you think of Joni Mitchell? Should they'd go, who? Joni? Oh, you mean from from Happy Days? No, that was you've never heard of Joni Mitchell? No, that is
Joni Loves Mitchell?
They literally, I don't think they could answer any questions you had if you had some sort of understanding of music.
I feel like
really
Janet could.
You could think she could.
She came from a musical family. Mm-hmm. So I feel like
You'd also be surprised how little. Like every race car driver I've ever interviewed doesn't know shit about anything in his car.
that's fair.
There's a
That's
lot
fair.
of that, and many athletes would say well, listen, Coach Dick, you've never played, so you don't know what it's like to be out there. You know, athletes don't know anything about history and guys who played,
Right.
and race car drivers don't know anything about their cars or the engine. I'd go, how big's the engine? I go 1.5 liter, and I'd go 1.5. That's too small. Oh. 2.5? Okay, well, you don't know, but all right. It's weird that you drive the car, but they drive the car. If I asked her, Janet Jackson, if I said to her, name me, all right, 2 10,000 Maniacs songs.
I can't name 2.
I can't really either. But here's the
Had
thing.
hits.
Here's the thing with Janet. Janet could be your Paul Reiser, your Drew Carey, where she loved music so much, but she loved it to get her to a certain place, and now she no longer.
But I'm
enjoys
not saying
it.
they loved stand-up so much.
No,
they ended up,
they didn't love it, but they used it to get them to a certain place. They stopped doing it. Right.
Yeah, well, you got to work.
Well,
I mean,
feel like
get it.
she started out and did really love music. I don't know what happened along the way, but I feel like she did.
She realized she didn't actually have to because her brother had more money than anyone.
But she
alive.
had a competitive. She wanted to outsell her brother, and she did.
Yeah, listen.
Listen, I'm not gonna-
She can sing, but she chooses not to. I think
Yes.
live. But all right. But I'm going to go ahead and just say she's not into it.
Okay, that's fair.
But Prince seems to have a good music knowledge.
Prince
and
is
can play the guitar.
Prince is I will call a musical genius who has tons of shit songs that white people won't admit are shit.
I've never understood the people who are just like, every print, like
Yeah, I don't
Prince's
understand that either.
catalog.
I like him, but I don't agree with that either.
I've never once been like, you know what I need to hear right now? Prince. Never once. I've never put on Prince.
That and the
by
Beastie
choice.
Boys are like, fuck it. All right, they don't.
As a New Yorker born in 1979.
No,
Beastie Boys
Beastie Boys are what you would do if you couldn't do music. If you didn't play an instrument
hold
or
on,
sing,
hold on.
then you would go Beastie Boys. That's what I would do.
That's fair. Yeah.
I couldn't go other routes because I don't sing or play an instrument. I know. All right, listen. Where were we? What was I complaining about? Oh, DJs.
DJs.
Do we have the clip? Where's the DJ clip? The restaurant. Sorry, Joe.
Yes, we
Leave
have.
the Beastie Boys alone for a second. We'll play. Dawson's got an inquisitive look on his face, but
We have a clip from the internet.
all right. So before we play, let me just say this. I was at Dr. Drew's condo in Manhattan. And it's beautiful, and it's a luxury, and it's got the state-of-the-art gym on the 50th floor, which I have been to before. And it's big, it's beautiful, it's nice, state-of-the-art. Okay. And then I was staying there with Mike August a week ago. And I said, at some point, I went for a walk to go get coffee or something, and Mike got up earlier than me, and we found ourselves reconvening in Drew's pad. And I said, where were you? He's like, I went up to the gym. And I said, oh, yeah, nice gym, huh? And he's like, oh, state of the art. And then I said, how was it? And he goes, oh, it's a great gym, but they're just blaring Megan the Stallion the entire time with the, like, lots of F-bombs and everything else.
Odd.
And it's like,
In a gym.
this place, okay. The audience, your audience, who is at this gym
Yeah.
is sort of in this luxury building that is, the millions of dollars each unit, triple doorman, I would just say luxury was what I would say. And then the gym is panoramics on the 50th
Right.
floor. It's 8,000 square feet.
Right.
It's amazing. I said, who is the average individual in this gym? And the average age is like 54 and a half, and the average color is honky, maybe clear.
Clear.
Like the average color is Tom Petty.
Got it.
And the average income is $7.2 million a year, and the average education is advanced degree. And they're all wearing earbuds because they're all listening to Pod Save America, right? Or whatever the fuck these assholes listen to, right? Whatever it is they listen to that they haven't heard that Joe Biden's been on the decline for a couple of years. All those people, it's news to them. That's what they're getting all their super information about Biden and ivermectin through their earbuds, through listening to NPR's podcast, right? Or music. But now the earbuds have to compete with Cardi B, who's cranked up. So Mike was like, I tried to listen to a sports podcast, but they just crank up Cardi B.
It was a DJ
and I'm
in
like,
the gym, right?
No, they just
Oh.
pump it in. They just pump it in. And I'm like, who wants that? Who amongst us? Like, okay, there are 17 people working out. If you work out to music, then you have your music, which could include Cardi B, but maybe not the song they're playing.
Right.
Or Megan the Stallion. Whatever it is, you either have your playlist in your earbuds, or you're listening to your podcast, or your book on audiobook, or whatever it is. Who wants this in this group? If there's 17 people in this gym, should we survey all 17 of them and see if we can... Okay, could we find two that says, I like to hear some F-bombs dropped, and I want to hear Paula Abdul going, uh-oh, while I'm listening to Pod Save America. That's what I want. Could we find two? And if the answer is no, then what are we doing? What can we turn it down?
I don't understand that. There's a lot of gyms that do have DJs. I don't get that either. Because not everybody, yes. But even if it wasn't the F-bombs, not everybody wants to listen to the same song, and not everybody wants to listen to music. They want to do their own thing. There shouldn't be anything.
In a world before the podcast, before all the Audible stuff, before everyone and their stuff with on their phone,
Right.
maybe.
Yes, then it's fine. And those were the days. But now everybody's got their own thing. We don't need it. We don't need that.
Doesn't need it. It's competing with what I'm trying to listen to. You know. All right. So, and then it struck me, and it's always bothered me. It's the DJ. We're doing a party. We're getting a DJ. We're going to have a DJ. I'm like, don't do it. They're always 30 years younger than everyone, and they play shit music. And everyone's like, we got to get a DJ. And I'm always like, I remember once we had a KLSX, sponsor party or whatever. And this is where you had to hobnob with all the sponsors and all the stuff. And it was at this event. It was across the street, and food and appetizers and open bar and whatever. And they had the DJ, and it was just going just fucking cranked up. Now it's a bunch of sponsors, a white radio station, middle-aged guys milling around, and what would happen is it'd be like program director Jack Silver be like, I want you to meet Herb Johnson from McKenna BMW. These guys are big fans. We're looking to get them to come on, and I'd go, what's the guy's name is Herb? Herb! And then the guy would come in, and I'd go, where are you guys? McKenna BMW? We're McKenna BMW! And it's spitting on me. And I'm like, why are we doing the DJ? Why? Turn it down. Nobody's dancing. Nobody wants it. Just turn it down, or not have it at all, or just fucking play jazz. Just put the jazz station on. One time, I took, and this has been going on for a long time, I took the Hammer, went to the Tribeca Film Festival many years ago, back when I was accepted in those circles. And to be fair, I got kicked out of those circles for being right about everything I've spoken into a microphone about in the last 15 years. But that'll get you booted if you're truthful and correct. So thrown out of those circles. But back when I ran in those circles, we had the after party at some Tribeca hotel or whatever, and everyone was just down in the restaurant, sitting in booths, having cocktails, eating, and whatever it is, and they had the DJ. And once again, nobody could hear. Everyone was sitting. Everyone's sitting. Nobody dancing. Everyone's sitting, spitting drinks and food on each other because you can't hear you can't have a conversation. So at some point, I just go, I'm just going to go talk to the guy. So I just go to the DJ and I go, could you turn it down a little? And the guy's like, no, man, this is what I do, And I go, listen, nobody's dancing, you know what I mean? We're trying to talk, but we can't hear it so loud. And he goes, yeah, man, well, tough, sort of thing. And I got pissed and I went, no one's enjoying what you're doing. And he goes, I'm enjoying it. And I realized, oh, okay, that's it. Now, it's not his fault. He's a narcissistic prick who was brought up in the feel-good, self-esteem movement that was a huge mistake. Why are we hiring this guy? What do we need him here for? So, 4th of July, going out to dinner on the roof of the Intercontinental Hotel. You buy a $500 ticket. You go to the roof. You order. You have cocktails. And you watch the fireworks from below. You're above the fireworks. You're on 1,500 feet above, downtown, whatever. Okay, walk in. Oh, we got the DJ. I'll play you just 10 seconds of what it sounded like. Turn it up, Dawson, I must say. All right. We don't go 200. All right. So this is what's playing the whole time. So everybody, no one's able to communicate with each other while we're having dinner. So at some point, you start realizing that people start negotiating. They go, I walked in and I noticed the speaker was up on a stand and it was sort of pushed out, wasn't facing our direction, it was pushing out the other direction. So I said, well, at least the speaker's turn. And the couple I'm there with goes, yeah, we got him to turn the speaker away. Oh, okay, that's good. How much does this cost? $500. Okay. So you got him to turn the speaker away. Yeah. But then at some point I noticed the speaker got turned back toward us. And then you become this negotiation with the other table where it's I'm going to go up there and see if I can tip this guy to turn down.
Right,
It's like, you're going to go, like, we're not in prison, and I'm not trying to get heroin. We could just turn it down. You can turn it down because people aren't dancing. They're talking, and we can't talk. Then the way the tables have to break up is you could talk. If it's 4 people at the table, you got to pick the person you want to talk to and sit right on their lap. You have to. I turned in and faced him. I straddled him. I put my legs around his. We're nutsack to nutsack, and I faced him, draped his hands on my shoulders, and we spoke because no shot at the other person because that person's a whole 3 feet away.
No,
you're not going to be able to.
You're never talking to that person.
No, you got to get on the person.
Yeah,
and then. It's always the thing of eating, drinking, and projecting. So there's always a little spittle coming out because you just had a piece of popcorn shrimp and then you washed it down with a White Claw and now there's something coming out of your mouth onto that person, but you have to. So then at some point, you do the thing where someone goes, well, I got him to move the speaker, but then they turned it back and I went up there and then I gave the guy a tip that seat, but he seems to be back up. And then you start negotiating with other tables, like, hey, we already went up there and tried to get him to turn it down, and we don't want to get into trouble. And they're like, huh? I can't hear you. I'm like, could you? Yeah, we'd like it to turn it down. I go, we would like them to turn, everyone would like it to turn it down. Can we? Go up and ask. Now, don't get into trouble. I don't want to get yelled at, But go ask them to try to. It's like, nah, we're just pumping. We're eating dinner at a fine hotel outdoors and watching. By the way, it's not patriotic music. You know, it's not John Philip Sousa marches or anything. It is literally just fucking techno DJ shit. And the one guy's playing, it's just a 23-year-old white dude who's like, I could annoy the fuck out of all you rich people for as long as I want. And there's no one's going to say shit to me. But here's the thing, management-wise, I can't hear the waiter's specials. Can we just bring it down? Why is that not a doable thing?
It's also anxiety provoking. Just listening to that when you're eating, that's the last thing you want to hear when you're eating. It's just music that's just like it just makes you anxious.
Play it one more time. First off, it's not even music. Just play something. Play a song.
Anything. And
play Journey's Don't Stop Believing.
You would rather that. Yeah, that I don't want to eat dinner.
What does that have to do with eating? All right. All right.
But let me ask you a question. After all of that,
yes,
you're at a wedding. Do you want a band or a DJ?
I'm gonna say, listen. We're going to just load up my fucking iPhone and you're going to hit play and then you're going to leave and we're going to hear every fucking song.
That's what you're going to do. So
we're not going to hear Don't Stop Believing by Journey and no Cold Hearted Snake. No songs that go, uh-oh, or say, girl, don't play the fool.
Okay, but what if you have a DJ and you can give him the list of the songs you want to play for your wedding? It's a wedding. See, I would rather have a DJ at a wedding. I never want a band.
Wow.
I never want a band.
I want a band.
No, I don't like.
I want a telescope, honestly.
I want to see the sun at my wedding. No, I don't. I hate when bands are I hate it.
There is something. Jimmy had a really good band at his wedding. And there's something impressive. It's impressive.
It's
when
impressive,
they're multi-piece.
I want to hear the
30
original artist. Excuse me. I want to hear the original. I just can't when I'm dancing.
I'm not going to call you insane. I am saying that there is something to the effect and the ambiance of having a large group playing live that adds to the event.
It does,
the size,
100%.
the scope and scale. This band at Jimmy's wedding
is it amazing?
Was so good that Ellen almost danced.
DeGeneres?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
But she didn't have to fool those people into thinking she was nice, so she didn't
almost
do
danced.
it. But she almost danced. She was the only one who did not dance, and I was like, noted.
That's fair.
Yeah. All right. We got the news. Dawson, you doing the news? Who's doing the news? Sorry.
News,
oh, Joe's doing the news. All right. We'll take a quick break.
I'm here.
We'll come back. Do the news right after this. Tommy John. Well, I got a simple life hack for y'all. It's called Tommy John Upgrade. With Tommy John, you'll be much more comfortable, so you can do everything better. They have a second skin underwear, has dozens of comfort innovations like a supportive contour pouch and horizontal quick draw fly, plus breathable, lightweight, moisture wicking fabric with 4 times more stretch than competing brands. Over 20 million pairs sold, thousands of 5-star reviews. Tommy John, they don't have customers, they have fanatics. I'm wearing mine right now. Let me see, dark blue. Yep. I don't leave. I don't travel without them. I don't leave the house without them. They're also easy because you can roll them up. They don't take up a lot of room in the luggage. It's just the best. They got the best pair you'll ever wear guarantee, or it's free. It's Tommy John. Right, Dawson?
Get 20% off your first order right now at TommyJohn.com/Adam. Save 20% on second skin at TommyJohn.com/Adam. TommyJohn.com/Adam. See site for details.
Chime. I'm chiming in. Summer's a great time to build better credit. That's right. You're, I don't know, winter, that's for eggnog, but summer, that's a time to build some better credit. Chime, secured credit card builder. Visa credit card, that's what I'm talking about. Start building credit with everyday purchases and regular on-time payments. That's how you build credit. No annual fees, interest, or credit check to apply. Use it everywhere Visa cards are accepted. No monthly minimum balance. No impact on your credit score to apply. So you got nothing to lose. Get paid up to 2 days early with direct deposit. Plus overdraft up to $200 without fees with SpotMe when you set up a qualifying direct deposit. Access 60,000 plus free. That's right, free ATMs. More than the top 3 national banks combined. Pay anyone through Chime, whether they're a member or not, and cash out your money fee-free. It is Chime, right, Dawson?
With Chime's secure credit card, you can improve your credit scores all summer long. Get started today at Chime.com/Adam. That's Chime.com/Adam. Chime feels like progress. The Chime Credit Builder Visa Credit Card is issued by the Bancorp Bank N.A. or Stride Bank N.A. SpotMe eligibility requirements and overdraft limits apply. Out-of-network ATM withdrawal and OTC advance fees may apply. Terms and conditions apply. Go to Chime.com/disclosures for details.
Rosetta Stone. My kids are heading off to college soon, and they're going to want to travel around. And, well, they're going to have to learn a new language wherever they go. Rosetta Stone. That's the way to do it. The most trusted language learning program available on desktop or as an app. It truly immerses you in the language that you're learning. 30 years, millions of users. They can't all be lying, right? They love Rosetta Stone. 25 languages, Spanish, French, Italian, German, Korean, Chinese, Arabic, it's all there. Designed for long-term retention. No English translations. Learn to speak, listen, and think in that language. Plus, the built-in true accent feature gives you feedback on your pronunciations. It's Rosetta Stone, and you can get a lifetime membership in all 25 languages for 50% off. Take it away, Dawson.
Don't put off learning that language. There's no better time than right now to get started. For a very limited time, Adam Carolla Show listeners can get Rosetta Stone's lifetime membership for 50% off. Visit rosettastone.com/Adam. That's 50% off unlimited access to 25 language courses for the rest of your life. Redeem your 50% off at rosettastone.com/Adam today.
Guys, you like to play that game, What Would You Do for $1 Million? I just spent 10 days with like 5 guys. You guys can play that all day. What would you do for $1 million? What would you do for $1 million? That game should actually just be called, How Much Money Would It Take for You to Be Gay? Right, because doesn't that game always start out one way, but it fucking ends like a totally different way? Like, it always starts out with something like, hey, dude, would you shave your head for $1 million? But it ends with, would you blow Steve for $1 million? It's like you're testing your friends to see how much money it would take. And you guys all know you have that one guy friend that would do it for a lot fucking less than he should. And it's awkward, right? He comes flying out of the corner, he's all like, dude, I'd blow Steve for $10,000. That's a lot of money. Where the fuck is Steve? Is somebody calling him, or what are we doing? We're getting him. Is Steve coming over? He's coming over, right? Ladies don't play that game, right? Ladies, we don't play that game. You can't be like, hey, Jody, would you go down on Cindy for $1 million? I'd be like, I did it for a shot of tequila.
Jody Miller is on the Adam Carolla Show.
Oh yeah. I got a big beef with people who don't engage in hypotheticals. And I don't know why. It bothers the fuck out of me.
I know.
I was with Mike August hanging out at Drew's place, as formerly mentioned, and for some reason I played the Avril Lavigne game, which I don't think I played with Joe. And I don't think you even know what that game is.
I do not.
I don't know.
Do you know who Admiral Levine is?
No.
See, it's an interesting thing. You have to watch either Fox or you have to go somewhere right of CNN to know who Admiral Levine is, because Admiral Levine is a laughing stock because it's a he/she head of health and human secretary, whatever.
Oh, right.
It's the tranny,
Yes.
It's the tranny, because they're a diversity hire or whatever it is, progressive
But
something.
looks very
something.
similar to Avril.
No.
They look a little similar.
No.
Have they ever been in the same room?
No.
Have they ever
Their
been
names,
in the same room?
they sound the same. There's Avril Lavigne and Admiral Lavigne.
That's the skater boy she was talking about.
And the game, and this picture of Admiral Lavigne is way too regal. There's some shit show pictures of this is a professional shot that's been like touched up and whatever. There's some pictures of this wreck at the podium that is insane. But anyway, I said to Mike, look, we're going to play the Avril Lavigne game.
Great.
We put him on the wheel. Now, Joe, Avril Lavigne's pretty hot, and there's no scenario I can dream of where you would actually get a shot at that sexually in 1,000 lifetimes.
Okay.
Maybe 1,000,000 lifetimes.
Never happening.
Never gonna happen.
But with this one.
But if you want to try the wheel, I can't give you a shot at her. Now, I'll start at 50-50. Do you spin the wheel? Whatever it lands on, you got a bet.
Absolutely not.
Not going to do it. Not going to do it. Okay.
No. I've had, I might not get Avril Lavigne, but I've had my fair share in the day.
You did okay. But
chance it.
Avril Lavigne is not only a name, but that will also lead to more pussy. Like Pete Davidson does. You know what I mean? He bangs one hot chick and all the other chicks want to suck his dick. You see how that works? So you can use her as a stepping stone.
Okay.
All right. So now we're going back to the wheel.
Yeah.
Would you?
I could go 70% Avril Lavigne with a 30% Admiral Lavigne.
70.
Yeah, I was gonna say
You could do
as
that
long
spin?
as it's 2-1, I'll take it.
You'll take it.
If it's 66 repeating and 33, I'll go.
You
I'll
do
spin
that.
the wheel.
All right. So Mike August said it would have to be 99-1.
Wow.
And then I go, you're never going to get another shot at Avril Lavigne. And he goes, he doesn't care. And I said, what about 95-5? And he's like, no. And I'm like, don't bullshit a bullshitter, Mike. You got to get a shot at Avril. Let me show you one of her videos from the 90s or whatever. Let's see if I can't change your mind a little bit. And he's like, no, can't. Not even, couldn't even chance, even a 1%. It's too high. I explained to Mike, if it's 1%, it lands on Admiral Lavigne, that's divine intervention.
Exactly.
Yes, that is meant to be.
To be pegged by Admiral Lavigne or something.
You're supposed to be with him.
Right.
Her.
Right.
They.
Right.
Her.
So he said no. I lost a little respect for him.
What are you? Are you 50-50? Would you take it?
It depends when you would have got hold of me. Like when I was 23, I would have spun that. Even a 51.
You're like, it's a good story either way.
Yeah, even at a deficit, I would have spun that wheel. I didn't have much to lose. I rode a motorcycle back then.
Yeah.
I didn't care. As I got older and a little more seasoned, and a little more experienced, I thought, I would probably I'd have to go over 50% for sure. And I'd probably have to I'd have to be with Joe. It'd have to be a 2-1.
All right.
And then if I lost, it'd just be a great story. You know what I mean?
Great story.
Yeah.
God. Mm-hmm. I almost want you to lose. I want it to happen.
Yeah. What about you, Jody? I don't know if you apply to this wheel, but I think you could.
Kind of win all around for you, right?
Yes, win-win. There's no losing here. I don't know what the question is. God, it's so funny because I think it's that you're picking Avril Lavigne, who I do think is attractive, but she's not the like hottest girl in the world. I just don't think she is.
She's not the hottest.
She's
How
not,
about-
it's
I
not
got
like,
only
it's
played-
not like Cindy Crawford in the 90s.
No,
you know what I mean?
it's true. And the game only exists because I was listening to the radio and someone said Avril Lavigne, and I thought they said Avril
Avril,
Lavigne.
right.
I've got a version for her.
Okay, yeah.
Adam Levine.
Okay.
Admiral Levine.
There you go. Adam, yes. I actually don't find...
All right, screw the
No,
game
but-
then.
but wait,
If
but
you don't
wait.
find anybody attractive, we can't play this game.
I can tell you this, though. I did see Maroon 5 at a Byron Allen Oscar party a couple of years ago. And I mean, I like Maroon 5. They're fine. I've never been on that, like, oh my God, Adam Levine, I'll suck his dick right now. But as they play, I was like sitting, as far from Maroon 5 as I'm from Adam right now. And I got it.
You get it.
Yeah, I
All
got
right,
it
Let's
when
get
he was-
back to the
yeah.
wheel.
So, all right. 50-50?
We started 50-50.
Yeah.
You do
50-50.
it? Good for you. Good
Because
for
I
you.
can close my eyes.
Good for you.
And choke down Adam Levine.
I feel like my nose would still work, though. All right, let's do some news. Where are we?
Busta Rhymes cursed out some fans who were on their phone at the Essence Festival. He said, "I ain't from that era." He went on a swearing rant at the fans at the Essence Festival because they wouldn't put down their camera phones.
You cannot tell people. People can. Oh, do we have a clip?
We do have a clip.
Oh, let's play it then. Good.
Hey, yo, fuck them camera phones, too. Let's get back to interacting like humans. Put them weird-ass devices down. I ain't from that era. Them shits don't control the soul. Fuck your phone. Excuse me, gentlemen. Thank you very much. I will point every last one of y'all out until y'all asses is up.
I need a guy to
33
do
years of doing
thunderclaps
this shit,
for
I ain't
me.
used to niggas
Seriously.
sitting down
The
in my
best
soul.
part.
I don't give a fuck. All age groups, get your ass up now. I see you, beautiful queen. Get up too.
Jesus Christ, that thunderclap. I need
What
that.
going on? Everybody up top too. Get your
In the
bitch
Negro
ass.
balcony.
Joey Lawrence.
Joey Lawrence.
That's different, Joey.
The reason why there will be zero
Joey
tolerance for
McIntyre.
bullshit energy in here is because this is my first time in New Orleans at the fucking 30-year anniversary of the Essence Festival. Rah!
Wow.
This my first time, this my brother's first time, and it's my other brother's first time.
That's right.
Make me feel like we home.
Hey, yo, if you want to turn it up, say turn it up. Say turn it
I'm
up.
gonna play "Don't Stop Believing" by
Turn up.
We're playing Cold Hearted Snake. Here it comes.
Oh,
Girl.
girl, don't play the fool. It's so insulting. All right, so good. Here's the thing about the phone. It's like chapstick. Put it in your pocket. You're going to bust it out every 18 seconds and just use it, or you don't have to at all. But the
Right.
people who need it, it's like they're just like you're trying to like 40 seconds later, sitting in air conditioning. They're like, let me get this chapstick out again. And you're like, you don't need this. You cannot use it your entire life, or you just use it 4 times in 7 minutes. Like, it's a thing. And the reason I never bring my phone into the studios because I would want to look at it.
Right.
So you have to kind of know thyself, and you just got to shut the shit off and put it in your back pocket.
Well, a lot of clubs,
When you're
for
making a
comedy,
concert.
this is
Yes.
in comedy, they make you put it in a bag and seal it up. You can go outside to use it, but you cannot use it, obviously, in the theater, which
Yes.
I think is great.
Yeah.
But-
All right. So
Yep.
I'm with Buster on and his. He also has a
Busta.
Buster.
Buster. I listened to the Jewish rapper Buster Hyman.
Bus? I know Buster.
Yeah.
Bust her Hyman, yeah.
Yeah, just like a virgin. Was a virgin was a big song. Buster Hyman. Girl, don't play the fool. Hyman gone.
Bust your Hyman.
So I'm with him in that there's nothing worse than people staring at their phone or having a
Right.
fucking conversation when you're trying to perform or whatever it is. On the other hand, You get paid a lot of money.
Yep.
This comes with the territory.
Yep.
Push it on through. I've done a million shows. We've
like-
all done a million shows.
It's like being in the check spot when they just the check's put down. Everybody looks at their
put
check.
the check
God damn
down.
it.
The waitress has a little mini flashlight out.
He had this and you had that.
You hear the guy like, do you take Diners Club?
Feel
We
like
get a Diners Club
traveler's
discount.
checks. Traveler's checks.
Yeah. It's you just push it through. Just push through those jokes. All right.
Rapper P. Diddy agrees with Busta Rhymes.
Oh, he does?
Yeah,
He
he
does.
said, do not look at your phone
he-
ever. Don't believe anything you're seeing on your phone right now. Ignore your phones
Is he back in the
entirely."
States, P. Diddy? Is he here? Is that from...
He's
Where is
living
he?
his best life. Last I saw him, he was whitewater rafting on
Here?
TMZ.
Or I thought he was in Bahamas. Did he go to the Bahamas?
He was whitewater rafting somewhere. You can do it here. You can do it, but you can do it in New Zealand,
That's true.
so
That's right.
I don't know. I can't tell by the water.
You can't?
Not visually, no, if I could taste it. Yeah, it was funny because this deep fake, the cheap fake thing's been like, these videos are doctored, that we're not showing. And then the people that are showing the video are going, it is an edited version of an event, of the Joe Biden or the stuff. And they go, that's him looking like someone unplugged his jukebox at the Juneteenth event on the White House lawn. And then Morning Joe goes, that's a edited video, right? And so here's what I'm saying. And the answer is, yes, it's an edited video because Patti LaBelle did 45 minutes and they're not going to show 45 minutes of Joe Biden standing there, but they will show 30 seconds of him looking weird and wrong in this thing. But it's a piece of that video, but we can't show the whole video. And then people go, I was arguing with Eric Griffin about this. He was like, well, it's edited video. And I forgot to tell him, but here's my answer.
Okay, tell us now.
P. Diddy showing that his pimp hand was pretty strong and the hotel video is edited video because there's a surveillance camera that runs every night for 24 hours and every day.
Right.
So it is a piece of that video that is showing somebody doing something.
Right.
Can we sign off on that concept then?
Yes.
It's not the entire video. The entire video is 3 months.
Yes.
Of people losing their keys and walking onto the wrong floor and then getting back onto the elevator drunk. That's right.
Yes.
But we took only 30 seconds of a video. So, yes, it was edited, but I wouldn't call it cheap fake. I would say he did the thing.
No, he did, because that section of that video that was edited was not edited. So it's
That's right.
The
You can't
incident
edit
wasn't
within the video.
Yes,
Yes.
the incident itself was not edited. The video was.
Correct.
Yes.
That's correct. Okay. Clarity? Do we have clarity now? Or do we have
Now,
to show the
where
entire
was
of
P.
every
Diddy
video?
rafting? Where was he? Was that edited?
He was having the time of his life on a whitewater raft.
Sounds like he's had more
Sounds like it
fun
was
time.
edited.
Which is, by the way, a whitewater rafting is the exact opposite of prison.
Okay. You're right.
What
prison or whitewater rafting?
What is further apart?
Yeah, right.
You know what I mean? Confined to a windowless cell
Yes. Maybe
versus whitewater rafting.
maybe jumping out of a plane. Maybe
Maybe, but
hand
you're
gliding
not
or-
you're not you're probably you may be scared,
Oh, okay.
and you're not with a group of people that are enjoying the shit out of it as well.
Right, that's
Whitewater
true.
rafting is like 5 people
Yeah,
having
gang
the
of people.
fucking
A lot of
time of their
people.
life,
Yeah.
and as free and open as you can physically.
wet.
You're literally just being taken by
Yes.
nature, you know.
Right.
So
It's a little scary.
It is
A little
the Yeah, well, it's a thrill, but I've
Thrill.
done it a few times. It's thrilling, but it is the very opposite of prison.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe he's doing the most opposite of prison.
Right.
Like maybe he's just going to go right back to the top of the mountain and jump back in the
Yeah.
raft and go right back down
Right.
again.
And if you're in prison, you're like, I just want to get out. And if you're on a raft, you're like, I hope I don't fall out.
He was in Wyoming,
Oh.
and I believe we have a picture of it. I do not think I've ever seen 5
So,
black men whitewater rafting
Is it still
simultaneously.
whitewater rafting?
At a certain point, yeah, it's no longer whitewater. I And I was looking at it, I was like, okay, they got to have one white guy from Wyoming, like manning the paddle. No. I think it was all brothers having the GD time of their life. It was on TMZ, like, I don't know, 4 days ago or something.
There they go.
Something.
Look at them go. That's
Something
scary. So scary.
But it's the opposite of prison.
Is that a white
girl?
There's
There's
a
two white
There's
people.
a couple white
Two
people.
whites.
The girls mix. But there's a white guy in front.
Where's that other guy? There shouldn't be one other person
in the
behind
back,
Diddy.
but here's the thing that's crazy. The guide is black.
No, but the guy, there's
Hold on.
Who's that person?
Quiet. The guide in the back is a black man, which I mean is a weird. You don't see many Wyoming whitewater rafting guides. So they got the brother on there, and I don't know if that's a Diddy thing, but Diddy's having a good time. But yes, there's a white guy up front paddling, possibly a white chick. But this could be mixed.
I feel like that boat is like, there should be somebody behind Diddy, unless he fell off or out or her.
Yeah. So he's doing that. Yeah. But he's doing the opposite of prison.
Yeah.
Okay.
You don't know. This could have ended with some rape. We don't know.
We don't know.
We don't know how this video ended. It was edited.
So I'm sorry. What's the next story?
Radio host has been fired for letting Joe Biden's team send scripted questions. A Philadelphia radio station has cut ties with the host who admitted to asking President Biden questions that were supplied to her by his team.
Why are the radio stations firing them because she gave up her journalistic integrity or something? Mm-hmm. First things first. Okay. That's the only era we're living in now is softball questions because you'll never come back if you get. Gavin Newsom was in the studio 11 years ago. He's not coming back. You know what I'm saying? Like, so if you get confrontational, then they don't come back. That's why they pick and. You got to think about it. Really think about this concept. Fauci blamed the right. And basically, the Walmart shopping, Bible thumping, knuckle dragging, gun hugging, Hannity viewers and Tucker Carlson viewers for not getting vaccinated.
Okay.
Never went on their show ever.
Yeah, you're right.
Went on MSNBC with much smaller ratings, preaching to people that were triple vaxxed already. Trying to get in a campaign to get people vaccinated and then blaming the folks who watch Fox for not getting vaccinated. So why not head to where the unvaccinated people are and tell them why they should get vaccinated? Because he would be eviscerated by the host. So people do not go to unfriendly places. Right. And I don't think it's we have a clip. All right. I don't think it's the host's fault. This is the new
I feel
world
like that's
order.
It's a little.
When the White House goes, listen. You're going to hear Kelsey Grammer on the show in 15 minutes. His people want talk about this. That's what publicists do. They go talk about this, not about that. Right. Normally you ignore it, but it's my Monica Lewinsky's coming on just to talk about her handbag line. That's why she's coming on your show, and that's all she's going to talk about. And then you're in a weird position as a host because it's like, can't talk about anything else? So anyway, we'll play the clip. Sorry.
You each you asked 4 questions, and maybe that's what you were allowed to ask by the campaign or the White House. But they were essentially the same questions, both interviews, about accomplishments, progress in your respective state, what's at stake in the election, what he has to say about his debate performance, and what he would say to voters who think their vote doesn't matter or might sit this election out. Were those questions given to you by the White House or the campaign, or did you have to submit questions ahead of this interview?
The questions were sent to me for approval. I approved of them.
Okay, so the White House sent the questions to you ahead of the interview.
She played a fool.
Yes.
Okay.
I got several questions, 8 of them, and the 4 that were chosen were the ones that I approved.
Okay. And the reason I ask is not a criticism of either view. It's just that if the White House is trying now to prove the vim, vigor, acuity of the president, I don't know how they do that by sending questions first before the interview so that the president knows what's coming.
When did the news, the mainstream news, and I'm talking about everyone, like USA Today, Reuters, NBC, or whatever, all of them. They just woke up to the news like 10 minutes ago. Like you don't see all the cards Biden has with the pre-questions and the preloaded and who to pick out in the crowd and what their question is. Like this is all 3 years old, everybody. This is how he does it.
Yeah, I feel like for everyone, if you're interviewing the president of the United States, I feel like you would have to submit questions that they'd approve, or they're sending you. Like I don't feel like this is a shock that anybody is anybody shocked about this.
They're finding out that Joe Biden is severely mentally compromised, and they found out 10 minutes ago when it's been going on for 3.5 years, and everyone's been saying it.
And when he's in the debate and he's terrible, everybody's like, this is really bad. But prior to that, he was going off questions that they had prepared him for, and he still didn't sound great. Like I'm more concerned with how he fares when he knows what's coming.
Yeah.
Still seems like a shitty.
So the news is waking up to the news, which is a good chapter for us, I guess. Mm-hmm.
Elton John couldn't hold it in while shopping for sneakers in France and ended up pissing in a plastic bottle in the middle of a store.
What?
Yes.
How did I miss this?
So says the guy who runs a shop in Nice. Elton came to the shop on Monday afternoon with his 2 sons and a bodyguard and asked if there was a public restroom. He was told no. He pissed in a bottle in the middle of the store.
Do we have a video?
We do not have no clips or vids.
There's a couple things. When emotionally, especially when you're a man of a certain age, and I'm getting there, you cannot emotionally sign off on the piss before you get the answer to, is there a bathroom? You have to emotionally not sign off and ask, because if you do that, the problem is you begin the piss clock as you're walking to the counter asking to use the bathroom. Once you hear the word no, you've already started the countdown.
Yes, you have.
You have to emotionally be agnostic. You have to go, I'm going to go ask that storekeep if there's a bathroom I can use, but I'm not starting the piss clock yet.
By the way, there was a bathroom. I'm sure of it. I hate when they do that.
Yeah.
They could have easily let Elton John use the bathroom, is what I'm saying. They chose not to. And he pissed in a bottle. I pissed in my daughter's diaper a month ago when I was coming over the hill. Two
you
diapers.
Didn't even take it off her
two
first.
Diapers. No, I didn't.
You're such a bad
give
mom.
that to me. But when you have that, when you get to that place where you're like, it's coming, I have to figure out what to do.
I've started the clock.
I was stuck on Laurel Canyon and it wasn't moving.
It's like in a sci-fi
you pissed in
movie.
a diaper in traffic?
Yes, I sat in traffic and I took 2 of my daughter's diapers, the emergency diapers, because it was an emergency, and I pulled my yoga pants down. And let me tell you something about Huggies snug and dry. Not a drop.
Not a drop. Nothing
spilled.
hit the seat.
Nothing. And it was either the best day of my life or the worst. I started laughing because it's like, what are you going to do at this point? And it happened. And
it's a powerful tale. Inspiring.
I felt really
I
felt like really much. But I'm saying when you get to the place where you're like, this is like Elton got to that place.
Here's what it is. In every sci-fi movie, when they realized they couldn't get the alien off the ship, they'd hit the self-destruct thing. And then for some reason, when they designed spacecraft, someone would go, well, what are we going to do about the self-destruct? And like, I would have raised my hand and go, I'm not sure we need this. Like, I don't feel like airplanes have them or boats. Like, I've done a lot of cruises. I would be surprised if there was like a self-destruct.
Yeah.
But like,
button on the
we're
cruise.
going to load this spaceship up with TNT that one day we're going to use. Yeah, we have to have self-destruct.
And there's a button that's easily accessible too.
Yeah, why do we need it? So they go, all right, we have to have the self-destruct button, and then they'll start a countdown of self-destruct. And then I'd go, okay, but we have to have an override button in case someone kills an alien ship. No. There will be no override button. I'm like, well, what if somebody hits it by me? What if someone gets drunk? What if the captain is like really depressed? He finds out, his wife's been cheating back on Earth, and he drinks real hard, and he hits the self-destruct.
Yeah.
Shouldn't we have an override button so we can stop the countdown? No. Okay, so that's how we're going to build this spaceship. Those are the rules. So they do it, and once you hit the countdown, it's on.
It's on.
There is no override. Once you start the countdown, whether you're in traffic or in Nice, it's on. And there is no override. That's why you and Elton cannot be blamed.
We can't be blamed, but he picked a bottle. He didn't go outside and just like let it rip in nature.
Well, I'm guessing it was like crowded sidewalks, and
so where did he?
He pulled it out and he turned his back and like a gentleman, and he filled the Sprite bottle.
He probably had one of his sons there.
Yeah,
hold this bottle.
All right.
Yeah,
I've never filled a Sprite bottle. I don't know.
And he said, "Hold me closer."
Yes. Yeah.
Tiny peer.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
So, I don't know. He's 76 years old.
Yeah, let
right?
him pee where he needs to
piss.
pee. Also, they have a restroom. Where do their employees go? They could have let him. He's Elton John.
I have literally, been to a place and bought $900 worth of fucking shit and then went could I use the bathroom?
Yes.
No, sorry, that's just for the...
Also,
I know, because you don't want homeless people vandalizing it. I get
Absolutely.
it. I just fucking bought $900 worth of tools. Can I use this thing?
Also, there is a look in a person's eyes that's like, this is a desperate situation. This isn't just like, I just want to pee before we hit the road again. This is, I have to
I'm
pee
seeing
now.
bubbling in your eyes.
This is, I'm either going to pee in your store on the floor
right.
or in your employee restroom. You
right.
choose where it's going right now because I'm in physical pain.
Yeah.
And he was probably there. So let him
probably
pee.
let Bernie Taupin use it the week before, too.
He totally did.
You know he did. This is a gay thing. All right, so he filled the bottle. Can I tell you the new... Who is lower in our society? Who's lower? The gum that you just spit into the urinal, which I see at every comedy club.
Oh, I've never.
There's they spit the gum into the urinal, which means somebody's got to fish it out. Yeah. It's not going down. It's never going down the drain. It must be.
It doesn't go down the drain.
Manually
See, I don't know this.
fished
No.
out.
All right.
Okay. Or the other one I like, which is gum on top of the urinal, which is like, I'm just done. I'm done with my gum. It's going somewhere. There's a trash can 4 feet behind me, but I don't get that kind of time, you know. Or I have filled up, I drive a delivery truck or Uber,
right.
or Uber Eats or whatever it is. I pissed in a bottle and I just chuck it out. I put the cap on and I just chuck it, and then Adam can walk down the sidewalk and pass my glowing yellow jars of piss.
That's a tough one.
Who amongst us?
I think Gum Guy is.
Yeah, I think Gum Guy is. Because you got to really get
it's
in there.
less impactful.
Yeah, but you want that piss out of your car. I understand.
No, I get it. I have
put the cap
done.
on. You said put the cap on.
I have done the piss in the bottle. When it comes time to dispose of it, it is a dumping it out into a dirted area kind of thing, shaking it out, cap back on, and throwing it away somewhere. That's what I do.
Yeah,
Not
I mean,
share my gift with the neighbors.
All right, here's the thing. I actually am going to go with the person who chucks the piss bottle out the window because even though the person who dumps the gum in the urinal is an asshole, knowing that somebody else is going to have to do it, he knows exactly. It's going there. Someone else can see it. They know exactly what they're doing before they do it. With the piss bottle, you could just be walking down the street.
I threw away somebody's piss bottle.
And it could have hit them and just exploded on their face.
Somebody's piss bottle was adorning the sidewalk behind this place at my route.
It was on the ground. You could have gotten hit by that.
Could have lost an eye. That's what happened to my grandfather. That's why my grandfather wore that patch.
It was a piss bottle.
I walked by this, day glow yellow gleaming piss bottle. About the fifth time I walked past it, I just picked it up and I walked it over to a dumpster and I just threw it in.
And you knew it wasn't like Mountain Dew. You knew it was like
it tasted like piss, bro.
Would you ever pick somebody's gum out of the toilet?
It was in like an Evian thing, It was in a water.
And it tasted like piss.
Yeah, it tasted like piss.
Would you ever pull somebody's gum out of the urinal, though?
I don't really. No, I don't. But I don't have much thought about that stuff. I would if you gave me $5. I would do.
Okay.
$5.
$5.
Wow.
Cash,
I've got $5.
I'll do it.
I peed in a bottle in college once, and instead of throwing it out, I just put it in my buddy's mini fridge. And he got up the next day hungover and drank the entire thing.
He did not.
Yeah.
No, he didn't.
Yeah.
What do you think
piss?
it was?
It was in a Mott's apple juice bottle, so it was the perfect crime.
He couldn't have drank the whole thing.
I think he
could have
it was,
taken
it was probably really
small,
cold.
Small Mott's
Cold.
thing. Got
squatty one.
So, did he think anything of it?
Oh,
or-
it was in his fraternity house, and I woke up the next day. He just knew it, like, his mind immediately went to me, and I got a phone call like, what the fuck? Why would you? And I was like, who goes into a mini fridge and drinks something that's not theirs? You know?
So many people in college, but so many people in college.
You stole somebody's Mott's.
No, I did. I shit into my own cereal box once, and when my roommate ate it, I was like, hey, bro.
It's on you.
Well, it's in you. Yeah. You don't fuck with another man's cereal. Yeah. Sorry. One more.
4 swimmers were bitten by a shark off of Texas's South Padre Island this past weekend. The 4th of July holiday turned into a nightmare for beachgoers in the waters in Texas after authorities said a shark bit 4 swimmers.
Same shark.
That's what they think, yeah.
Wow. All at the same time.
Yeah. I know there's a video of it. I don't like seeing people bleeding. It makes me feel bad for them. Mm-hmm. And it's all people need to know. People, there's a group. So the world can be broken off into 3 groups. It's sort of like religion. You know, there's like born-again Christians, there's agnostics, and there's atheists. The born-again beach people are like, I'm going in the fucking water. I don't care how hard the riptide's pulling, and I don't care how big the sea is, and I don't care how rainy. I'm fucking going in the ocean, and I love the ocean, and I live in the ocean. And I'm kind of that way in that I'll just jump in. I don't care. Let's do it. And then there are guys that are, you know, they surf every day. They do whatever. That's the born again. Okay. You know, and then there's the agnostics, which are like the 13-year-old kids are like, I don't know, it's a little rough, but I kind of want to cool off. But I'll go in. But I don't need to go in. But if we're going to the beach and everyone else is going in, then I'll go in. And then there's the atheist who's like, I'm not going in. There's nothing that can get me into that water. And it's all assigned at birth. It has nothing to do. People way too much nurture with kids. Mm-hmm. I got twins. I got a boy who does not want to go in the water and probably won't go under any circumstances. I got a girl who can't get enough of the water. To this thing where people go, well, you should have worked with him or you should have taught. No, that's who they fucking are. That's who they are. That's what they want. I'm not going to talk either one of them out of or into anything. He doesn't like it. She does. That's it. I'm the guy who likes it, so I would tend to go in. But all right. What the shark attack hysteria stuff does is it takes the agnostics and it pushes them into the atheist category. Mm-hmm. The ones who are flirting with maybe, no can do now. So that's all these fucking stories do. They do not stop the hardcore people from going in. They're going in anyway. If you surf, you surf. That's what you do. And the atheists weren't going in anyway. Mm-mm. It takes that big group of agnostics and it spoils their head and gets them not to do it. And that's why I don't like shark bites.
Let me just tell everybody out there who is now teetering or has gone to the atheist side of the oceans, and I know this because I work on a trivia show, that more people die from vending machine accidents than from shark attacks. So there you go. Wow. So think about that. Now you won't go to your vending machine anymore. So it's so rare that happens. But 4 people, I mean, sounds like they were asking for it, if you ask me.
Yeah, they must have been agitating that shark in some way.
Discovery Channel needs a vending machine week.
They do.
I would watch the shit out of that.
All the vending machines.
Shaking the machine, sticking your hand in there. That's how it happens.
Yeah. I come from radio, and the people who are attracted to radio are some of the cheapest, weirdest, saddest, angriest people ever. And I used to marvel at the notes that were on the vending machine because the guy would only show up once a week, and there'd be somebody who'd be like, I paid $1.25, May 21st, 1999. I got no Fresca.
Nope.
I am owed a Fresca. This is like a 48-year-old adult who was traumatized by a machine that didn't give them their Fresca after putting their 86 cents in. Yep. No Fresca. They go get a fucking Post-it. They write the date. They are owed a Fresca. because they paid for a Fresca, and it's like I marvel at that.
And when I think of a radio station, I think of a vending machine. I don't know
Yes,
what it
you
is.
have
You
to.
have to. It is. There's that vending machine just when you walk right in. That in the hospital, I always think of vending
You
machines.
have to have a vending machine in radio because the radio community refrigerator, it's filled with so many fucked up people that you can't keep food in there.
And Joe's piss.
Yeah.
And
It's
then
also,
Joe's piss.
it's also in there.
Then you get the notes, December 17th, half a Yoplait
Yes.
with my name, Cheryl Ann, was in that, and somebody took it, and I demand justice for my Yoplait. Like, everyone has a fucking Tupperware or half a sandwich that was missing. And I'm like, you guys are all adults and you make good money. What are we doing here? And it's like, we're pissed about what went on in this fridge and this vending machine. And there are notes all over it. And it's always to whoever stole, to whoever thought it was okay to finish or throw out my half a Yoplait. It's like you're just a 45-year-old people writing these notes.
It's the people that write the notes, but also the people that do that. I would never go into a fridge and just eat someone else's half-eaten sandwich. Ever. Ever.
Well, to be fair, it was head cheese, You can't leave. You can't wave that in front of a hungry DJ. No, they probably eat the half that the person didn't eat.
Gross. Even grosser.
Well, it's not even grosser. It's less gross.
Less gross. No, you're eating someone's half-eaten Yoplait?
No, you're eating someone's half-eaten sandwich. I'm eating the half that wasn't eaten.
Okay. All right.
I'm saying it's less.
Okay,
but I'm not defending it. I'm saying I don't want to be the attorney for the guy who steals his sandwich. Ladies and gentlemen. But there's something about that refrigerator that becomes like some sort of Thunderdome, some sort of lawless.
It is.
I'm guessing like Texas in 1781 or something where there was no sheriff. People just made their own law. There's no rules that people abide by. There's no gravity in there.
Yeah.
It is. You're taking. You're risking your own peril when you leave something
100%,
in there.
even with your name on it.
Then there are the people who leave stuff in there for perpetuity and because it's no one's job to clean it out, and there's that. But it's always just a shit show.
It is.
The vending. So you have to have the vending. You have to have the vending machine. But even that does not stop the host of Post-it notes about people have been slighted at the vending machine.
Did anybody ever get their money back? Has anybody ever gotten their money back from a vending machine?
I guess it's incumbent upon the guy who shows up once a week to make these people whole again. I don't know.
And they've had to wait. So, like, if he came on a Monday and this incident happened on a Tuesday, they have to wait that whole week.
Yes.
So it's just stewing
and they have
them.
to time it because the guy with the hand truck's only in there for about 10 minutes.
So quick. And he tries to get in and out. He doesn't want any contact with anyone.
And they could go, look at those pretzels. See them hanging there? I ordered them and they never fell.
Those chads that are just dangling there.
Dangling.
Dawson, any experience with a vending machine?
I got money back from a vending machine multiple times.
I knew it.
When I was in elementary school.
Elementary school?
50 cents was hard to come by.
Oh, really? What happened?
It didn't deliver. If it didn't deliver your thing, we went to the janitor.
Oh, all right.
Like your machine ate my money.
All right.
We weren't rich.
Yeah, I get it.
All right.
Now, did you ever do the plastic dollar, put it in and pull it out? Like I always figured I was even for how much I stole from vending
I never
machines.
did that. Did that work?
Oh yeah.
There were a lot of grifts. There were a lot of grifts.
Scotch tape the end of it with them, and you put it all the way in and then yank it out.
Oh my God.
The best grift was pantyhose.
Oh, there you go.
You lay pantyhose, it was especially over those dispensers. Was on the washing machines, they worked really well. You line up your quarters, you put a thing of pantyhose underneath the thing, and then you place your quarters in them.
Oh.
Push it in, pull it out,
and then
all your quarters stay.
Oh my
Nice.
God. Everybody listen to that.
My only grift I really had was those sort of half-porn newspapers that used to be in those weird tin vending machines outside. Mm-hmm. If you smack the top hard enough, like a real Fonzie top hit, and pulled the bottom handle, if it was timed just perfectly, you could just pop it and it would pop open and you could get like a free Frisky newspaper because nothing's better than, porn in black and white
So
with
good.
super large
So
pixels,
good.
big areolas, and lots of pixels.
So good.
I didn't get my Fresca. I'm getting my Frisky.
Get my frisky. All right, Jodi Miller, skinny Jodi Miller.
Yeah.
You can check her out on YouTube. Decades in the making. We will take ourselves a break, and Kelsey Grammer is in right after this. Trade Coffee changed the way you experience coffee at home. No more dull taste, stale, questionably sourced coffee. Take a short quiz, and we'll find out your preferences, and Trade will give you personalized recommendations based on your palate, because everyone's different. It's a great way to experience small batch specialty coffees and support small businesses. Coffee is roasted to order, so it's never stale, ships within 48 hours. New cold coffee subscription offers you a rotating variety of the best iced and cold brew coffees to make at home. Stay cool and caffeinated this summer. This product is great. This company's fantastic. They've sent me coffee. Just close my eyes. I can smell it now. Yeah, step it up. Let's get to the next level. The next coffee level, that is. Trade Coffee. Am I right, Dawson?
Give Trade a try this summer. Right now, they're offering 30% off your first order when you visit drinktrade.com/Carolla and subscribe. Sign up for any of their subscriptions at 30% off. You'll save on your coffee this summer, and they guarantee you love your first coffee, or they'll replace it for free. That's drinktrade.com/Carolla for 30% off your subscription order. drinktrade.com/Carolla.
O'Reilly Auto Parts. Oh, my favorite. Love these guys. Yep, they're in the business of keeping your car on the road. O'Reilly Auto Parts offers friendly, helpful service and parts knowledge you need to maintain and repair your car. They've got thousands of parts and accessories in stock and online as well. So they have it in the store. You can buy it online, so you'll never have to worry if you're in a jam. The team at O'Reilly Auto Parts can test your battery for free in or out of your car. Well, it's easier to do it in your car, or you can bring it in, I guess. If it needs to be replaced, they'll help you find the right battery for your vehicle. Need your windshield wipers replaced, a brake light fixed, or a quick service? They'll help you find the right part or point you to the nearest local repair shop for help as well. Whether you're a car aficionado or an auto novice, you'll find the employees at O'Reilly Auto Parts are knowledgeable, helpful, and best of all, friendly. Yes, nice people. The professional parts people at O'Reilly Auto Parts are your one-stop shop for all things auto, do-it-yourself, and you can find what you need in the store online, or you can go in yourself. Stop by O'Reilly Auto Parts today or visit at O'ReillyAuto.com/Adam. That's O'ReillyAuto.com/Adam.
The Adam Carolla Show presents Kelsey Grammer's birthday cocktail party for February 21st. Let's see who's here. Let's welcome Russian Tsar Peter III. Here's the first black female doctor admitted to the U.S. College of Surgeons, Helen Octavia Dickens. Here's Duke Ellington's saxophonist, Al Sears. Let's welcome Zimbabwean revolutionary and the first black president of Zimbabwe, Robert Mugabe. Here's jazz pianist, singer, songwriter, and civil rights activist, Nina Simone. Let's welcome Beverly Hills Madam and the mentor to Heidi Fleiss, Elizabeth Adams. Here's the late congressman from Georgia, John Lewis. Legendary record producer David Geffen is here. One of the Baldwin brothers just showed up, but it's only William. Astronaut turned senator from the state of Arizona, Mark Kelly, just walked in. Jennifer Love Hewitt just walked through the door. Jordan Peele is here. Elliot Page just walked in. From Game of Thrones, it's Sophie Turner. And from Die Hard, Alan Rickman. Kelsey Grammer is on the Adam Carolla Show.
Robert Mugabe, Dawson, by the way, not Mugabe. But that's all right. He's a good dude. We just don't want to slight him by mispronouncing his name.
I don't want to take Robert Mugabe out of the
Yeah. Good to see you, Kelsey Grammer.
Likewise, Adam. How are you, man?
I'm well. I think the last time I ran into you was at Kennedy's birthday party.
Yes, it was. That's
and
right.
I've always found you very fascinating. I found your story fascinating. I find your work fascinating. I never really got a chance to sit down with you. So thanks for doing this.
No. Well, this is good. Yeah, it's my pleasure.
Murder Company is the name of the movie. It's in limited theatrical release. It'll be available on digital and on demand platforming. Starting July 5th. A subject I love, World War II, takes place around in the midst of D-Day. So let's talk about that for a little bit. The story that no one knows, Murder Company.
Apparently, these are stories, fueled by real life. I have a buddy, John Hertzfeld, whose dad was a very, very young man, maybe 17, when he served behind enemy lines and was in one of these sort of cobbled together murder companies where they were told to go off on assignment and do some hits. I guess it's sort of a pre-SEAL Team 6 kind of thing, but I don't know exactly what the context was. But apparently this kind of stuff happens in war, and that's what this story is about. And this general that I play is one of those men who, is an upright kind of righteous military man who is asked to do something he'd really rather not do, but he realizes the importance of it, and he's got to save some lives. So he instructs these young men to go off and find a target. Do
you like the dramatic stuff or the comedy? I feel like your comedy is dramatic. It's just it doesn't make any sense to me. You don't get a laugh unless it's rooted in something serious. That's what I've always thought. Now, granted, there's some guys who are so funny and so silly that they can just make something funny out of nothing. Robin Williams was one of those people. But when he was at his very best, it was connected to something dramatic as well. And so, that's when his film work was always at. Well, you were trained dramatically, right?
Yeah. We went to school together. Robin and I went to school together at Juilliard and got our foundational work there, basically.
And for you, did you imagine so much comedy and so many successful sitcoms in your future, or were you thinking Shakespeare and real acting?
It was going to be Shakespeare. Yeah, I was going to do real acting and make no living. That was pretty much how I'd surrendered to the idea that I was just going to be a pauper for the rest of my life, but do good work. I got lucky. Something happened, and I made some people laugh. And making people laugh is, as Woody Allen said about Diane Keaton, funny as money.
And so for you, it's only been acting. I mean, your entire adult life, right? You've not had day jobs per se.
Well, I did. I started out with day jobs. I started a beer company a while ago, and that's like a day job. But it's when I'm behind, so I really, really like it. But once I was a waiter. I walked into work one day at O'Neill's on 6th Avenue and 57th Street, and I realized for the lunch shift, I thought, I'm not going to be an actor until I quit this. So I looked at the manager. His name was Michael. I said, Michael, it's time to say goodbye to all this. I'm really sorry. I got to go. I said, can you just stick around for one shift? And I just stood there kind of almost crestfallen. And he said, you know what? Skip it. It'll be okay. I'll cover for you. I left. I got a job as an actor the next day. It's the only job I have ever since.
Is that kismet? Is there some energy involved with that?
I have no idea. For whatever reason, that was the time to say it, and the stars were aligned to make sure that's what happened. It was an extraordinary moment for me, and I didn't make a great living for a while, but I was only an actor.
Is there something to? I had that experience as well to some degree. And I guess there's something to being sort of neutral and open to feelings that come to you and then acting on them because you're not too steeped in too many notions. It's just, here's what I want to do. And then people would say, well, that's a foolish thing to do. What are you doing? And you would answer, I don't know. That's what I want to do. That's what I feel like doing. It has washed over me. It's for some reason.
I think, of course, you have to have some context, I suppose. But if it was go out and kill a bunch of people, maybe I should say no to that.
Right. Yes. My
Just
dog
felt like the right idea at the time.
My dog told me to kill.
Yeah. Right. Exactly.
Yes.
But yeah, they're just call it gestation. I don't know. Call it maturity. The readiness is all, as Hamlet said. It's just a time when there's no other real choice. And so you listen.
Cheers. Back when there were 3, networks and the 40 million people a week, would watch, and it back when it was a sensation, like it was like a boy band or something, right? Like, I mean, stuff hit big and it hit hard, and one day you're obscure and the next day everyone recognizes you. What was that like?
That was challenging at first, because that loss of privacy thing is a little weird, and the things you read about yourself are a little weird, and then you finally realize you can't fight that. You can only kind of keep your nose to the grindstone, make sure you do good work, and the stuff that's said about you that maybe is not true or is a little bit too colorful or whatever. It's nothing to really complain about, unless it gets really nasty, and then you can kind of stand up and say, whoa, you got to stop saying that. But of course, then you're in the Marty Singer world. I don't know if you know Blakely and Singer, the guys that handle press stuff.
Yeah.
You don't want to live there, but you kind of have to.
Well, I'm kind of wondering if in this day and age, there's so much on so many that it really doesn't leave a mark like it used to. Like,
I think you're right about that. Yeah.
If every beautiful woman under 30 had a bootleg porn movie that was on the internet, then would it affect any of them?
Not at all.
And I think we're getting...
It's apparently what we're witnessing today.
Yes, I think we're sort of at the point where every American has been called a racist or homophobic or told, whatever label's been hung on you, and it's been done so early and so often to so many people that we're now all in this. It's like everyone has herpes. If everyone has herpes, then no one has herpes.
Exactly. Yeah, it's not really a problem anymore.
So you grew up in a unique way, right? Where were you born?
I was born in the Virgin Islands, St. Thomas. My dad was a kind of an itinerant musician. My mom and he had met singing at a music school together, and so I spent a couple of years there. But then my mom moved back to New Jersey to live with her dad and mom. So my granddad raised me. My grandmother raised me with my mother.
So from the Virgin Islands to New Jersey.
New Jersey, there's a hell of a come down. No, don't get me wrong. I love New Jersey.
Yeah. Oh, question maybe you can answer, although Jay Moore couldn't, and he's from New Jersey. Bruce Springsteen, in his famous song Glory Days, says that that baseball player could throw a speedball past you, right? He doesn't say fastball. He says speedball. And then when I was watching the John Bon Jovi 5-part Hulu miniseries, he was lamenting that when he was older, that he may have lost his speedball. And then I thought, is this a New Jersey thing where they swap out speedball for fastball?
Interesting. You know what? I don't know. That's a really good question. I played baseball, but in Jersey, but just as a kid, I never called it a speedball in my life.
Yeah, you and Jay Moore have corrected the record for me. But
yeah, really.
So when do you leave the Virgin Islands?
Oh, well, I was 3. Yeah, 2.5, 3.
And your parents get divorced, and that's it.
That was kind of it. Yeah, my mom and dad weren't meant to be together. And it just worked out.
Your dad was murdered in the Virgin Islands?
Yeah, shot 1968. It was sort of during. Well, the islands are famous for troubles, they call it. Mm-hmm. All of a sudden, a group of people will start killing people in the islands. It's happened a few times. St. Croix's famous for it, and apparently there's two sort of branches of native culture there. One Carib and one Arawak, I think they call them. And one's particularly violent and one's very peaceful. And once in a while, those, I guess, traditional genetic coding things come out once in a while, and somebody will go on a rampage. So it was one of those things. But it was also during the time when just after Martin Luther King had been killed. And I think there was some overreaction energy that, they targeted my dad and killed him.
But he was out of your life by then.
Yeah.
And so while
I'd gotten to know him because my granddad died when I was 12. My father called and said, "Why don't you come on down and spend a couple of weeks?" So I got to know him for a couple of weeks, and I was really glad we had that. And then he was shot when I was 14.
Oh, so that was for you. You left at 3, came back at 12, got to spend some time, and he was an artist. So maybe those genes, and your mom was an artist.
Yeah, no, I think there's something to that. Yeah, definitely.
And for you, was it always thinking about acting, and then these very sort of unlikely background for acting?
Yeah, I was just a surfer. That's all I wanted to be. I loved surfing. I loved the water. I loved sport. I might have tried to kind of live a life that way if I hadn't done a play in my junior year. And in my junior year, then the teacher that said, "I think you should try this," and I did, and I really liked it. I thought, oh, this is something I could do for the rest of my life. That's a lot like surfing, because it was you ride a wave, and acting. If it's a good wave, it's great. If it's good writing and stuff like that, it's that's what So I dedicated myself to the idea that this was worth a try. Like the same thing we just talked about with what do you know if it's the right thing to do or not? It just felt like the right thing to do, and it was creative. And it satisfied a lot of things in me, and it was a future. It opened up a future that surfing couldn't have. Certainly, it's like you can't surf till you're 90, and you can try. But
yeah, it's a flow and a balance.
Yeah, exactly.
And you just take to certain things, and if you sort of take to something, you should listen to that. And it is interesting, but and you can't really think about it that much because there's nothing that makes sense about it, but it's just sort of a natural flow. Right. Yeah. But your mom was an artist. Yeah.
I'm sorry. Did you know Fred Willard?
Yes.
Yeah. Fred and I were pretty good pals. But one day, for some reason, we were sitting at a party somewhere, and I finally asked him, I said, "So, Fred, when did you know you were funny?" He explained he was doing summer stock. He was doing a straight play. And it was a pretty serious role. But whenever he came on stage, people started laughing. Mm-hmm. And he just thought, well, maybe I should wake up and smell the coffee.
Fred was what you see is what you get. He was a very loving, friendly soul and had a kind of almost joyful naivete about him. And he would wander into the Acme Theater when I was doing sketch and improv in NoHo, California on a Friday night. We'd have 3 people in the audience, and he'd just wander in and sit down and watch us do bad sketch and bad improv. And one time I drove with him from Houston to I don't know where in Texas for a Jimmy Kimmel Live bit, and we stopped and ate some of the worst barbecue I've ever had in my life. And not only did Fred announce it was delicious barbecue, but he ate, in Texas, they give you a stack of white bread, like 9 slices of white bread. He took every slice, wiped it into the barbecue sauce, and devoured it. And while all of us were sitting there trying to speculate, I thought that they'd squirted barbecue lighter fluid on the meat. Starter fluid. It tasted like starter fluid. I couldn't believe how bad it was. Fred was smiling and laughing and lapping up every piece of barbecue, every piece of bread, and all the sauce, and delighted by it.
An amazing guy. Yeah.
So I guess that's a default setting, like almost like certain dogs are just their tails always wagging.
Yeah, it's a good point. Well said. Well said. Yes, he would get a wagon tail.
Yeah, and then Martin Mull just passed too, and of course, watching.
I didn't know. I liked him.
Watching them on Fernwood Tonight a million
Once
years.
a night.
And I remember looking at that when I was a kid, and I was like, this is interesting.
Yeah, definitely.
I don't know exactly what it is, but it's interesting.
That's funny stuff.
So you show up. Do you remember your first taping of Cheers and the sort of magic to it and how it felt that day?
Yeah, it just came out. It just worked. It was Frasier was a really odd character to play, but the one thing I remember saying to myself, and it rang true, is that for him to be believable, he had to really be in love with Diane. It was the great love of his life, and that was pure, sacrosanct, and there was no way he would not love her. And that's what made him fun to play, because of course she didn't love him. So it became the tension in who he was and what we knew she was, and he suddenly became more interesting to watch because he was sort of a fool, being made a fool of throughout it, but a sort of a dignified one who wasn't ever going to say I don't love you, and he was a great character to play. The first laugh I got was in a joke where he was saying to Sam, he's saying, now that we've spoken, blah, 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 I want you to know I'm always there for you. I will always answer the phone. You can always turn to me. And then he gets a beeper. And he pulls it out of his pocket and says, oh, great, okay, this is important. But, it just was, somebody cackled in the audience. I thought, oh, I got him. We're there.
And then Frasier, the sitcom, came a few years later. How many years later?
9 years later.
Wow.
9 years at Cheers.
Where did the theme song from Frasier come in, now that I just thought about it for a second?
That just popped up. I was, I said to everybody, I said, listen, I've always wanted to sing a theme song for a television show.
Oh, that was you singing it?
Yeah.
About scrambled eggs?
Yeah.
Oh.
And they wrote up something. It was loosely based on Joni Mitchell's My Analyst Told Me. Mm-hmm. My Analyst Told Me. It was right out of my head.
Isn't that Bette Midler?
No, that sounds like Boogie Woogie Bugle Boy. That is Bette Midler. But
Bette Midler had a hit with My Analyst Told Me.
Did she really?
I don't want to out myself as gay this early in the day, but I'm going to now ask my crack team to look up Bette Midler's version of that, and I think she had a bigger hit than Joni Mitchell. But continue.
Said one head, I got two. So it was that sort of loosely inspired it, and we just got in there and started singing it a little bit. We had a lyricist wrote the line about scrambled eggs, tossed salad, scrambled eggs, and Bruce Miller, the guy that did music for the show, had a little theme kind of written out. And as we started to sing it the first time we were recording, it's missing something, and I thought, well, I'll just hit this like bluesy kind of character guy, and it's like, hey baby, and that it led to that.
See, I watch a lot of TV and sitcoms and stuff like that. I never knew you sung it. I just popped into my head that the scrambled eggs, but you were doing like a blues send up on it.
Yes. Yeah.
And then, by the way, you join an elite fraternity of you and Linda Lavin, who sung the theme song to Alice.
I didn't know that.
Who also scatted at the end in a kind of bluesy, jazzy way. All right, so I am looking down at my screen, and it says the title is called Twisted, original from 1952, covered by Bette Midler, and then Joni Ross? Oh, now
I don't know.
Mitchell. Sorry.
Mitchell, there you go.
So covered first by Bette Midler? Aha!
Wow, I'm very impressed. I had no idea.
I'm taking a victory lap on that.
Yeah, you need to take one on that. That's all right.
So, Murder Company. Sorry. Yeah. Circling back.
That's okay.
Do you love doing like period stuff, like World War II stuff? Costumes and everything?
If I get a chance to do something I've never done before, yeah, of course I do. It was my way of kind of doing a little homage to my granddad too, who fought in World War II, who raised me, as I've said.
Right.
he was just a remarkable guy. These people that I actually did have a chance to know and now get to play them is just kind of an honor to do it, to just say thank you and to kind of reenact the kind of people they were. They were stand-up, extraordinary people with great character and sacrifice and commitment and patriotism and all the things that I actually still value in this world that seem to be kind of sliding out the back door a little bit. My granddad was a tout, and when I met the director on this show, I said, "Listen, let me ask you something," because in the script they had some dialogue that I thought was inappropriate. And I said, "Did you ever know a guy that served World War II?" He says, "Well, yeah, my grandfather served with Patton." I said, "Fantastic." And I said, "Did you ever know him to curse?" And he stopped and said, I said, "No." I said, "Yeah, well, my grandfather never said a curse word in his life that I was aware of." I said, "That's what I want to be in this film." There were a lot of 4-letter words in the script originally. And I said, these guys, these men, these people, they didn't talk that way, no matter what the circumstances, at least not my granddad. And that was a very cool thing.
What did your grandfather do in World War II?
He was in the Army Corps of Engineers. He went to Guadalcanal.
Wow. Seabee.
Runways on it.
There's a fighting Seabee.
He was a fighting dude. Yeah, he really did it all. And spent 2.5 years there.
Well, the Army Corps of Engineers would get there first.
Exactly.
And they'd have to try to build those runways when they were island hopping. And they were...
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I know about Bette Midler. And I know about fighting Seabees.
Right.
There's no other person in Hollywood who has that kind of range.
They put those two together.
Now, Kelsey, I'm not here to tell you that there aren't people who know more about Bette Midler or more about the fighting Seabees, but not combined.
No, I completely agree with you.
That's me. That's this guy right here.
Your niche.
Yeah, they would have to try to build the runways on the islands because we're trying to get to the mainland of Japan, and we didn't have the range in the bombers. So that's why they fought so ferociously to keep those islands, because they knew once we took those islands, your grandfather and his fighting Seabees would be building landing and takeoff strips for us to get to the mainland of Japan.
Yeah. They called them airdromes. They'd set them up and stuff, but he went in early. Yeah, there's some stories. Yeah, and he was credited. He and another engineer, because he was an engineer. He went to Berkeley, and the mats with the teeth that interlock and then roll out to become the runways. He was credited with inventing those as well.
There is a name for those mats. It's a gridded steel mesh, because you have to build a runway on the middle of an island, and it can't be full of potholes and bomb craters and stuff like that, but you don't have cement and asphalt and all the kind of stuff you need to build a runway. So you have to kind of figure out a system that would serve as a runway. And that grading, it's like cladding. It's like steel graded cladding that they rolled out to make those runways. Your grandfather was a part of that, or a part of inventing that. Marston Matt is what is said on my screen.
There you go. How about that?
But your grandpa's last name wasn't Marston.
Grammer, Cranmer. Yeah.
Oh, is that where you got your last name, or?
No, that's my mom. My mom was Cranmer. My dad was Grammer.
Oh, so Cranmer.
They think somewhere down in the past maybe they were connected, because Thomas Cranmer was burned at the stake. And that was a long time ago, but a lot of people changed their name at that time.
Yeah.
From Cranmer to any other number of things, Grammar, maybe, so.
I wonder if we're losing our character a little bit, something you were kind of alluding to. I think about it a lot. I feel the reason guys like your grandfather didn't curse, and people we used to say stand-up guys, and that guy's word is his bond. We'd say that. And now it's a lot of, we got to get everything in triplicate, and you have to sign away this, and there's another class action lawsuit with another lawyer. And I just wonder if we're kind of losing our way from a character standpoint.
Yeah, I think that's pretty likely. I mean, we see it playing out a lot these days. But there's still some folks around that you can still look at and say, I believe you, and they won't disappoint you. But there's not many. It's we're going to do our best to keep it up.
Yeah, well, you and I are old, so we'll be gone by the time the shit really goes down. I
got a few grammars behind me that I think maybe.
Oh, I forgot I have kids too.
I've invested a few gems. I hope of sort of character that may survive me.
Well, I think it's best to lead by example. I think there's a way too much talk about instilling and grafting and putting this on. It's like lead a good, strong, righteous life. Let them watch you lead a good, strong, fair, righteous life, and then that'll be the best example. You can't smoke and tell your kid to do push-ups.
Exactly.
The Murder Company is the name of the movie. Kelsey Grammer. Kelsey, I hope soon we'll have a little more time and you can come in and sit down and we'll do a nice long form interview.
I'd love to. Yeah. We can harpoon a lot of things.
We'll talk. First half hour be all Bette Midler talk. Then we go into the Fighting Seabees. And then we'll plug whatever project you may have.
Okay, man.
Good to see you, Kelsey Grammer.
Talk with you.
Well, I'm going to be in Eugene, Oregon at the McDonald Theater doing stand-up. That'll be this Friday. Joe's going to open, I think. And then we're going to Snoqualmie.
Good Lord.
Casino. And I'll be there Saturday in Washington. Joe's going to open again. We'll be doing some stand-up there. You can go to AdamCarolla.com for all the live shows. And you should check out Jody's stand-up on YouTube as well. Yes. Website, jodymillercomedy.com. Joe, where do we find your stuff?
JoePraino.com or the Dirty Sports Podcast.
And until next time, I'm with Joe Praino and Jody Miller saying mahalo.